Today in Strawberry Ink, we cover the story of Sayyid Nosair, the man who assassinated Rabbi Meir Kahane, and his place in the early network of jihadists on American soil. This is a sensitive episode detailing violent acts, terrorism, and the complex aftermath. On November 5th, 1990, Sayyid Nosair attended the Jewish speech of Rabbi Meir Kahane, the founder of the Jewish Defense League, speaking against terrorism. This was outside a Manhattan hotel. Nossair approached him, blending in with the crowd, and shot him at close range. Chaos erupted. Nossair attempted to flee, but was confronted outside by Carlos Acosta, a U.S. Postal Inspection Service officer. A brief exchange of gunfire followed. Nossair was shot and injured, but Acosta survived, though with serious injuries. Both were taken, along with Rabbi Kahane, to the Bellevue Hospital. Kahane died of his injuries, while Nossair survived, being discharged fairly quickly into NYPD custody. Acosta remained in the hospital longer but ultimately recovered, being released weeks later. Nossair, upon being discharged, was taken to the 17th Precinct building in Midtown Manhattan. His connections to extremism were uncovered during investigations. He frequented the Al Farouk Mosque in Brooklyn to Sheikh Omar Abdel Rahman, a Muslim extremist, and Nossair was connected to early operations of the terrorist group Al-Qaeda. This was way before 9/11. Police found Arabic documents in his possession, bomb-making manuals, and other evidence tying him to Abdel Rahman's circle, setting the stage for later federal terrorism charges. The rabbi's funeral took place on November 6, 1990, drawing thousands of mourners. His body was flown to the Jerusalem's Givat Cemetery for burial. Over 10,000 attended. Some mourners called for vengeance, while other religious leaders framed Kahane as a defender of the Jewish people. Violent clashes broke out in Jerusalem after the burial, highlighting polarized reaction. In the U.S., Jewish organizations condemned the assassination while distancing themselves from Kahane's controversial ideology. His funeral galvanized his supporters, who saw him as a martyr and vowed to continue his mission. Nossair's first court appearance was shortly after the assassination, in November 1990, before Justice Alvin Schlesinger of the Manhattan Criminal Court. He appeared injured and in a wheelchair, pleading not guilty to all charges, including murder, attempted murder, and weapons possession. The courtroom was heavily secured, with both supporters and detractors present. He was represented by private attorney Michael Slattery, while prosecutor Robert Morgenthau charged him with murder, attempted murder, coercion, and weapons offenses. Nossair was denied bond and remanded to the Rikers Island jail. He was tied to a federal criminal probe. U.S. Attorney Mary Jo White presented that evidence to a grand jury at the Manhattan Federal Court. This resulted in him being indicted on felonies of racketeering, conspiracy, and weapons offenses. He pleaded not guilty to those charges before Magistrate Henry Pittman. Osama bin Laden, the Al-Qaeda leader, hired private attorneys for him, Michael Tigard, and Ronald Cuby. The trial began in state court on December 2nd, 1991, concluding on the 21st day of that month, with the jury of 12 members plus 4 alternates acquitting him fully for the murder and attempted murder offenses, but convicted him on coercion and weapons offenses. Justice Schlesinger sentenced him to a prison term of 7 to 22 years, the maximum allowed under state law. Then his federal trial started in December 1994. It ended in October 1995. Presided over by federal judge Michael Mukasey, serving Manhattan. The jury of 12 members and 4 alternates convicted Nossair on 9 counts of conspiracy, racketeering, and weapons offenses. He was as well acquitted on other conspiracy offenses, being sentenced to life in prison without parole, plus 40 additional prison years consecutive. Nossair repeatedly sought appeals in both the state and federal cases, citing prosecutor misconduct and other legal issues. His motions have largely been unsuccessful, reflecting the controversial nature of his cases. In 1993, while serving his sentence at the Attica Correctional Facility, authorities uncovered a plot by associates Sheikh Abdel Rahman, including Ahmad Salem, to free Nossair. The conspirators planned to infiltrate the prison via contractor jobs, seize him, and hide him nearby. The FBI and New York State Police intervened, arresting those involved and preventing the escape. This foiled plot later became part of his federal case. Nossair has been housed in multiple facilities. Initially, the Rikers Island jail, followed by the Attica, and after the federal convictions, he was sent to the Big Sandy Federal Prison in Ennis, Kentucky. The story of Nossair is a chilling reminder of the early domestic impact of global terrorism and the far-reaching consequences of extremist networks operating on U.S. soil. His case intersects with the issues of radicalization, law enforcement, and justice that continue to resonate today. I plan to cover Al-Qaeda in a separate series. Thank you for listening. Take care and have a good rest of your day.